Hello, everyone. There goes my voice ready. When you get in here, say hello. Let me know if you can hear everything. We'll wait a few minutes. Redo my chat here. I think I got enough lighting. Looks okay. Say hi when you pop in. Hopefully, everybody can hear this week. Hey, Jennifer, you can hear, right? Hi, Kimber. Hi, Connie. Okay, good. Hey, we got something right this week. How's everyone doing? It finally stopped raining, so I've been mowing the lawn. We have a huge lot, so it took me 2 days to get the lawn done. Okay, now today we're gonna work on the album cover and pages. I forgot who wanted me to do that, but they can rewatch it if they're not. And then, of course, I will have a full tutorial on it. But for tonight's live, I already pre-cut everything out for it, so otherwise we'd probably be here all night. Nobody wants to listen to me all night. Just kidding. Okay, good. So what I like to use for all my albums, the cover and the pages, is the Michaels 110 pound, and they have it, and you can get the big packs. I always get the 100 packs, and you can get, like, they're on sale right now for buy one get one half off. But I looked, if you go on their website, you can get it cheaper if you buy their 6-pack or their 9-pack. So if you use the colors a lot, do that. I didn't know they had that on there because I usually just buy from the store. So you don't have to use the thicker paper. I like using it. It just makes your pages and your whole album really sturdy. So I'm using the cream for this album, the cream color, but you just kind of pick out the color that works best with your paper pack. This will be the paper pack that I will be using for this album. So this is by Craft Consortium, and I thought it was really, really pretty. So don't know what I'll use it for. I'll probably give it away, but it's got these really cute. It says 4 pages of each design, and I always get this one has 40 sheets in it. You got to make sure you have enough sheets, or get 2 packs if you can't get a big pack. They get 2 different packs. Let's quickly go through a little bit. And their packs are interesting because it has, let me grab my glasses so I can quick read that for you. It's kind of interesting, the pages they have in there. So they have 200 GSM papers. That's the cardstock way in the back. So that's 200 GSM. And then they also have 150 GSM pearlescent paper. And that is in the front here after this section. And I don't know if you can see the shine on there. And so it's not quite as thick, but it's still a pretty good weight, though. I mean, it's still a pretty good weight. And it's still 150 GSMs, acid-free, elegant effects, it says, with elegant effects. I got this off of Amazon. You can get it off of HSN, and you can probably get it right from craftconsortium.com there, which, I do most of my stuff on Amazon, but I do check around prices. So this is the one I like, this page here. This page there. So I like this. It's got a few cutouts on the front and the back side. So I actually, this is my first pack I've ever bought from them. I really like it. So I'm going to pick up some more. They have Christmas ones. They have a Halloween pack. So they have quite a bit. So you'll see this in the full edition for the albums, the full video. So we'll be here for 4 hours if we make a whole album. Okay, so then I use chipboard. You don't need heavyweight chipboard. This is called a medium weight chipboard, and it's the graphics brand, and I get it right off of Amazon. And you can get the 6x6 sheets, or you can get 12x12. So I have both, and you can use any color. It doesn't really matter because you're going to cover it up anyway. So you can get it in white, and you can get it in like the tan, and which is craft color, and you can get the black. So I use whatever I have on hand. Now you can use something else if you have cardboard or anything like that. Use that too. So we're gonna make a 6x6 album, and I already have two 6x6, of course. And so we need two. Bring it up a little closer for you guys, in case anybody wants to see this later on. So we're gonna need two of the 6x6, and then we're gonna cut one that's 6 by 1 3/4 for the spine. So I'm going to show, this is all I'm going to cut for you. Everything else is cut. I wanted to show you how I cut my chipboard. And I use the Fiskars. It's got the rotary blade on it. This thing cuts chipboard. And I use this for the Cricut chipboard, which is way thicker too. So it cuts it really, really well. And I use this only for my chipboard. I leave this for, and this is the same blade I've had in for I don't know how many years. I haven't changed a blade on this at all. So 1 3/4, and you don't have to flip it. It cuts right on through with just a couple passes, and you can feel it cut right through. It cuts through really, really nice. So that's what I use for my chipboard. All right, so then our next thing, we'll need to get rid of this piece. We got this piece. How's everybody's weather where they are? We had a couple days, well, most of the weekend rained, I should say. And let's see, Monday was kind of a little rainy. And so yesterday and today we're in the 70s today. Woo! Okay, so that's our chipboard. So now for the cover, we're going to need, I already have it done, but you're going to need an 8.5 sheet of paper. And then you're going to need one that's 6 by 8.5 inches. You need this to be a total of 14 inches or 17 inches when you're done. 16 inches. 16 inches when you're done. You need a total of 16 inches. And that's just because I like to put an inch fold in on my covers, which you'll see. You can do a 1/2 inch if you want. You don't have to do. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I think we're too close. I think we're too close, guys. So hold on a second. Get my Zoom thing to work. Okay. Let's bring it down a little bit so we can see what's going on. All right. So if you only like to put like a 1/2 inch, just adjust. If you're making a bigger album, just adjust. I will make other size albums in the future. 6x6 is typically the size I make. And I like 6x6 because you can get yourself a 6-inch paper pad. And then you can do like 5 3/4 if you want the border around it, or you can just put the whole 6-inch piece on it. That's up to you. That's why I like to use 6x6. You can definitely use 12x12. You just have to cut them down. So what I did was I used my little mat. I used the lines on my mat, and I got the 8.5 by 11. I leave it 8.5 by 11. It's going to be a little longer than inch or a little wider than inch, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about cutting off a 1/2 inch. And then I have this 6-inch piece. So I'm going to overlap it by an inch. You can overlap an inch, a 1/2 inch, whatever. I just like an inch. That's just me. And then so use your little mat to line everything up and then glue it down. So now you have a piece that's 8.5 by 16. Okay, that's that piece. So how we're going to do this, and I'm going to do this. First, I usually just kind of lay everything out. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I'm right. I thought I cut it too short. I'm like, that's the other album. Now, I don't have my little tools down here because I don't want to show that one for you guys. I'll show that in the live because you guys have seen me do that before. So what else you can do is just take your ruler. This ruler is fine. And you just want a gap. And you make the gap as big as you like. And then so I used that and kind of line it up in there. So first I kind of line everything up, and I might have to push it a little bit. You can measure and all that stuff. Who's got time for that? Let's just eyeball things, guys. Let's just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you got more on this side, That side, we don't care. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be fine. So we're just going to make it. I like my book to bend easily. That's why I like a little, usually 1/8 inch is what I put. I usually put an 1/8 inch in between. So let's glue the first one down. Feel free to ask any questions. Everybody's here. Everything's working yet, right, Jennifer? I'll have one of those where it'll stop live stream, middle of the stream. I like glue. You guys can use tape. I like glue. First of all, that tape can get rather expensive. I used to use tape when I first started, but then I switched to glue because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So you get a little bit of wiggle room from it if you position wrong, which I have. Now remember, there's many different ways to do albums, guys. You know, my way is not the right way. This is just what I found is easiest for me. And what I like to do, I will show you some different ones that are a little harder, bindings and stuff like that. But today we're going to start out with this one. And it's a pretty simple binding mechanism. Okay. Put that down there. How many of you guys have made albums before? Okay, put this one. Like I said, I just eyeball everything. Okay, give it a few minutes to set. And then I take, let's see, I'll use this. Usually if I'm making albums, you know, are you going to try, Kimber? You're going to try, right? This is very easy to do. Don't be intimidated by these. Okay, so normally if I'm making albums, I'll let this all dry. You don't have to, but that's just me. I like to make sure everything's dry before I move to the next step. But you really don't have to. I want the smaller one. That one's going to be too fat. Then I just take any kind of score thing and go around. It'll just help make it a little easier to fold. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'll show you how I do my corners. We got different ways to do corners. I'm going to show you what is easiest. Okay, so now when you do it, you need to cut your corners off. So there's different ways to do that. You only need to leave on about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to show you 3 different ways here. 3 different, yeah. So on this ruler, each marking is 1/8 an inch. So I just line it up to the first marking and then just cut down like that. Doesn't matter if you got more or less, that's okay. Next thing you can do, freehand. So you can just freehand. So you can just go straight across. You can kind of see my scissors is just going right alongside there. So you can freehand it. You're not leaving much on there. Okay, keep these corners. You may have made a boo-boo, and we may have to put them down there, okay? So keep your corners, don't lose them. Now, you can buy a fancy tool too. And if this lady's still selling them, I will link it. I think I seen that she was still selling these. So you can buy something like this. And it just fits right on your corner, like that. So it fits right on your corner. And you just cut it off. Just like that. Easy as that. And then, this is how I first started, was I just cut it straight off. Now I kind of cut kind of like I kind of do a curve. It's really hard to explain, but I kind of curve outwards a little bit, like, so you kind of see it's kind of like it's curved. I don't know why. Don't ask me. That's what I just started doing recently. It all works out the same. I'm just showing you guys all these different ways. Okay, now next thing I want to do is just kind of bend up my little sides a little bit, just to get them started. You can use your hand, you can use your bone folder, whatever works for you. Quite frankly, we have all these fancy tools, and I use my hands most of the time. Connie, you are going to make one too. This is easy. You don't have chipboard and you want to make your first album, you don't have chipboard. If you have cracker boxes or cereal boxes, something like that. Hi, Teresa. If you have it for your first one, just use whatever. For your first one, use cheap paper. Don't use your good stuff for your first one. I know I've ruined my album. So for your first one, use the cheap paper. The 110 pound is a little harder to fold and everything and to work with if you've never worked with it on a regular basis. But once you get to it, it doesn't split. It's real nice. I like the 110 pound. It folds up really nice. But for your first album, I want you just to cut up a cereal box, or if you get some like a FedEx box, cut that down. It doesn't have. You're just gonna practice your cover. That's all I want you guys to do is just practice. Hi, Jen. Congratulations, Jen. It'll be sent out tomorrow. I have it all packaged up pretty for you. So just do that, okay? And just get out any old box that you have left over and practice. And cheap paper, it doesn't matter if your paper matches it. Just practice your cover right now, okay? If you've never made it. Okay, so now what you want to do is, let's see. Why are my tools just missing again? You know what the problem is, guys, is I never organize back after I do a video. I just did some more taping and I haven't really organized back. So we'll use this. I just want to push my corners in a little bit. So I just kind of take and just push those corners in a little bit. And I'll show you if you can see. I just kind of, wrong way. That's going to be hard to show, Jean. Let's go this way. I just kind of push it in a little bit. You don't have to do that. Most people don't do that. I just kind of tuck it in a little bit. And then before you glue it, though, you want to do the test. Now, take and fold it. Okay, mine overlap. That's fine. Overlaps. 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 If it didn't, if you could see the black from there, if you cut too much off, which I have done and I still do, then you take this and glue this down in the corner and it'll cover up your black crack if you cut too big. Okay, so that's why you want to keep those corners. Okay, I'm just going to catch up. Okay, now we're going to glue those down. I'm going to use my clips because it takes a little bit, and the short ones aren't so bad, but the long ones take a little bit to adhere, and you're trying to rub back and forth. So I'm going to use a few clips to help me out here. And they're just clothespins. Nobody has to have anything fancy. These are some plastic clothespins I got. I don't know where I got them. You know, I've got a stash of, like, let's see, I started card making probably 20, 25 years ago now. Probably at least 25, where I started card making, where I really started getting into the paper crafting. So a lot of this stuff I just pick up along the way. Some of it you can find at like different rummage sales and stuff like that. I have gone to sales that people have given a lot of their craft stuff away. So just run glue down there, and we're going to just take and fold it up. Now I'm going to use my clips to help me out so I can move on. Clips are a good helper. You want them. You want them in your life. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure it's down a little bit and just keep checking it. So it adheres pretty quickly, but just to kind of help us so I can move on. Okay. Now we'll do the other side. And again, use tape if you want. I don't use tape much. Tape is not forgiving. Okay. So you can see that side's adhering already. Doesn't take long for the glue to catch. And like I said, in the full video, I will go step by step. We'll be cutting the paper and everything together. So it'll be probably a 3-parter because these albums, do take a while. And I'll go slower. I won't be so messy. We're live on the camera right now. Okay. Everything looks good. Now we'll do the 2 ends. Again, I use the Barely Arts or the Art Glitter Glue. Those are my 2 favorites. Now, I used to use, what was the one I used to use years ago? I can't remember now what that brand was. I might have a bottle yet. It can be a little expensive using this glue, but I always buy the bigger bottles. It's a little cheaper, I think, in the long run to get the big refill bottles. I was on a Art Glitter Glue's website, and they have a big gallon jug. I'm like, I don't think I need that much. I don't think I use that much glue. Maybe I do use a gallon a year. I don't know. But they say that the glue's really only good for 1 year. So I don't know if it is. I know some of my glue goes over a year. Okay. So now I get to this point. Gave myself a wrinkle from rushing. But that's okay. It's going to get covered again anyways. Now what I like to do before I put my layer on here is just kind of take and find your little creases there. Because we're going to put another layer over the top of this. And then I'll start bending it just a little bit. Don't force it all right away. Just kind of slowly bend it up. And see how easily it'll go. And there is. And that's what I like to give myself, at least an 1/8 inch, because then it doesn't, you're not forcing it to fold. It folds nicely. There is that. Okay. So now we're just going to put a piece on the inside here. And I think I cut too big, so I'm going to cut like 1 inch off. I had lost my measurements, so I was guessing. Yeah, I do that. I had everything all written out, and I lost them. Because I have a book that I normally put the measurements in, but I was just still testing everything and writing the sizes down. And I ended up losing that sheet, and I didn't get it in the book. Okay, so this piece is going to be 13.5 by, I hate that ruler, by 5 3/4 by 12. I really hate that one. 12. Yeah, 13 1/4. I'm going to rewrite that down. So I have it right. Okay. So it ends up being 13 1/4 you want by 5 3/4. So to get that, you're going to be cutting, just like the cover, you're going to be cutting 2 different pieces to get that. So I had cut one that was 11 by 5 3/4 and one that was 3 5 3/4. And then you can cut it afterwards, or, just in case you don't glue as much as 1 inch. So just so you can get to that, like I said, we'll go over that in the full video. I'll actually show you all that. Now, here's how I do when I got a big, long section like this, because by the time you sit there and go glue, 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 it's going to dry out. So I line it up. Show you my secrets here. Bring it up so I can see, because I can't see. It's kind of like the wrong color. Maybe I'll use a craft cardstock when I do the other one. This light color isn't showing very well on camera. Okay, that looks pretty good. So what I do, take my handy dandy clips, clip the ends, and then I'll clip a little bit along the sides, just so it stays. And then again, because I know I just shifted, so make sure you have it on there right. Then, okay. And then what I do is flip it over, and then I'll put glue on the bottom. Go right along the edge. So on my back of my sheet then, I put the glue. I'm going to put that down. Then we're going to take the clips and put it on the opposite side. We only have a little bit more to glue down. That way everything stays for me. Otherwise, you've got to sit there and put all the glue down and then try to get in the right position before it dries. It's very easy, Connie. All right, I'll see you later, Connie. Yeah, well, the mowing the lawn tired me out. Say hi to grandkids. Like I said, there'll be a full tutorial. So then, now I'm going to do the back of the other. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Okay, so now you have the inside and you got your outside. And now you want to take and find your lines. You can see them here. So you can see where we have it creased underneath. So you're going to follow that up a little bit and just crease it there. And you're going to fold it again and just bring your crease up. That just helps it. And then just slowly. Now, again, I would let all this dry because you could wrinkle your paper, but we're just doing a quick live right now. So we're just going to bring it up. Didn't get enough glue down there. Okay. See, it's buckling on me because I didn't let it dry, but we're going to go with it. I'm going to actually have a different inside cover made that's going to be dry, but I'll make one live on the video, but I'll have one that's dry because I don't like doing it wet because it'll buckle on you. See how it buckled? Because you need to let it dry. Before you mess around with it. So we'll just get it. Like I said, this isn't the one I'm going to use anyways for our thing. Okay, now let's talk the binding. Okay, got the cover done. So now for our binding pieces, we need one piece that's 2 1/4. Get that out of the way. 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then we need another piece that's 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. And then we need another one that's 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then you are going to score a 1/2 inch on each side. So on each one of these, you can see I scored a 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, so that's going to be our binding. That's going to hold our pages. Okay, let me get some of this glue off my hands. Now we are just I'm going to use this little tool. Now we're just going to crease some of that glue off of there. Okay, just get all those creased, and then we'll glue them together. Now, I like to glue them all together first before I glue them into the book. Some people like to glue each one in separate. You figure out what's easiest for you. For me, I think it's easier to put them together and then glue them right down to the book. I am going to have a summer filled with doctor appointments. I'm so excited. I've been having problems with dry eyes, nose, and mouth. The eyes are getting better. They put me on artificial, tears. The mouth, we're still going through testing. They want to rule a couple things out. So I have to go and get a biopsy on the inside of my lip and in my nose. Doesn't that sound like fun, guys? That sounds like fun. Yeah, I'm looking so forward to that. And I have to go to a hospital for it. So I'm not looking forward to this at all. Okay, so now we're just going to glue it down. So we're going to glue we got the biggest piece here. We're going to take the middle size and we're just going to glue it straight in the middle, okay? So we want it even in the middle. You can clip it, which I'll clip afterwards. So if you want to flatten it back out again so you can see easier, you can do that. So we're going to throw on some glue onto here. And then I'm going to start down here. And I'm going to look and make sure I'm centered. And if you're not perfect, don't worry about it. It's going to be pretty close. Okay, looks like I'm pretty close though. This side needs to go over a little bit. So I don't know if you can see on camera. So you can see where the score lines are. So I'm just in between the two score lines. Okay, so we're just in between those two score lines. Now we're going to do the same with the smaller piece. We're just going to line that up in the middle. Some people are really, really good at eyeballing things. I mean, it's harder when I'm on camera, but I don't think I'm doing too bad. So then you have, what's this? This is what we're going to put our pages on. So you can see we're going to have 6 pages. It looks like that. Okay. So now I like to fold it up because we are going to center it in between. So your middle section, we're going to center that down in there. Now, if you want to take a pencil and mark everything first and put a little mark on each side, if that's easier for you, do that. So all we want to do is center it in between there. And like I said, if you get it a little crooked, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so I'm going to hopefully not get my head in camera. So that one quick. If you don't push down right away, you're fine. If you just set it on there and don't push it down, you have plenty of time to work around. So it looks like I'm good. Looks like I can go up a little, just a little. Otherwise, it looks like I'm pretty good. All right, so now I flatten it down. Yeah, I know. Sounds like fun, doesn't it, Jen? So he thinks I might have because I have rheumatoid arthritis, I have arthritis, I have osteoporosis, I have it all, But he thinks I might have another autoimmune disease or acid reflux. Acid reflux can cause the dryness, the hoarseness, and all that stuff. I didn't know that. So they're going to put a device on me to test that. That's going to be done in June, I believe. But the biopsies are first, and that's going to rule out a couple other autoimmune diseases that do cause this because the blood work doesn't always confirm it. So he wants to do the biopsies. So I'm like, great. That sounds like fun. I want people cutting out my skin. Okay, so we're up to that point now. So this is what we have. We have our binding in there. We have our book. So the pages. Let me get all the pages out here. 2. Get the extra sheets. I put 4 of them together, but we'll put 2 of them together. So for the pages, you need to have 6 of them that are 5 3/4 and 5 3/4. And like I said, I use everything. The base of the pages, everything is all in that cream color because we're going to be layering it. So 6 of them that are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then you're going to do 6 of them that are 5 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then you're going to score a 1/2 inch on the 6 3/4 side on each side. So that basically brings it back down to a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So you're going to fold in your 2 ends. We're going to fold them in. And then we are going to, I only want one of these, lay them on top. So we're going to glue one side at a time, okay? So we're just going to glue one side down at a time. I know I'm like, well, there goes my whole summer. I got 5 appointments starting May 31st. I'm like, great. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. I'm really pretty healthy. You know, if it wasn't for like the RA and arthritis, I mean, you can't tell I have RA. Mine's doing really, really well. I get sore occasionally, and my joints get sore, stuff like that. But since I retired from work, I'm doing much better. So I cannot complain about that. The dryness is so bad though. Like, you know, like you could probably, I mean, my voice is hoarse right now. And, but sometimes it cracks and I lose my voice. And then I wake up at night so dry. It's like my mouth is glued together. It's so bad. And there's nothing we can do about it right now. All right. So then you have this. So it's open. So you'll have that. So we'll have 6 of those. Put the last one together. These are one of the easy. There's other, you know, pages and stuff. I just like these because it also gives you a pocket. So you're going to have a pocket. So it gives you you need a little extra storage. You might not, you know, put pictures in there, but you might want to put like letters or cards, or like if you make a Christmas album, save all the Christmas cards you get from people and put those in the pockets. You know, if you got special Christmas cards from people, you know, save them, put them in the pockets. I used to save more stuff than when I was younger, but I was more sentimental. Okay. All right, now you got your 6 pages. And now we are going to hook them up to here. Now, you can use tape. You know I don't like tape. Yeah, really bad cotton mouth though. I mean, it's like your mouth is glued together. Oh, I can't believe how bad. I've never had that before. So we've been dealing with this for a few months now, and we got the eyes I've been dealing with for a year, and the eye doctor I had last year didn't put me on artificial tears, and the one I had this year put me on them right away. Now I was kind of mad because I was like, well, if the other one did that, I went to suffer for a year, but she didn't. She just told me to try over the counter stuff for a while. Didn't work. Okay, so these pages are just going to slip right over like that. So I'm going to take one, and they're just going to slip right over the top of that like that. Easy, pretty easy. When I do the video, this is a different camera. I had to use a different camera for our live, and I use a different camera when I'm taping. I like the camera when I'm taping better, but it wouldn't work for the lives. So that's why, you know, when I do that one, well, I not during the winter I did, but I have to have a vaporizer on the whole time. And in fact, she told me to put 2 vaporizers, one on each side. It's not even like a thick slime. It's totally dry, and my mouth is just stuck together. Like there's no liquid in my mouth at all. I have no like my nose. I'm also missing the septum. Like I didn't even know what a septum was. The septum is that middle part of your nose. So I don't get runny noses either because I'm missing that. And eventually they'll fix that. So I have problems with dry nose. I just got to use a lot of saline solution and stuff. But eventually they'll fix that. But that's not that problem I can handle right now. It's the dry mouth stuff, especially talking. So now I'm just going to put a layer of glue on each side of the first one here. So just put some glue or tape, whichever you prefer. Each side. Okay, so let's see, get that on camera. And now I'm going to flip my first page over. And before you squeeze it together, I like to lay it down and make sure it's even in my book. So I lay it down and make sure it's even all up. And then I will lay it down and then flatten it into the glue there. So there's your first page, and there's your little pocket in there. Okay. So layer that in there. Okay, let's do the next page. I'm not as picky as I used to be. Like I used to, oh my gosh, my first album, you guys wouldn't have wanted to see that one. Um, I don't know how many albums I've thrown away, but now after you do it a couple times, your actually goes pretty good. But I'll put that page down. Make sure it's, you need to look from up here. Make sure everything's lining up with that page below. You don't want your pages to be off. And then just go ahead and rub the glue in. We got 2 pages. I mean, people get dry mouth. Like when I worked at the hospital, you wouldn't think hospitals are dry, but they're dry. See, there's eyes, nose, and mouth. There's a Sjogren's. It's called Sjogren's, and that's what I'm being tested for. And so I'm being tested for Sjogren's and Wagner's. My sister has Wagner's, so that's why he wanted to test me, because that's hereditary. And but she doesn't have all the dryness. But Sjogren's is dry eye, nose, and mouth, and he wants to rule that out. And the biopsy is the best way to rule that out. But like I said, people get dry mouth. I was dry at the hospital all the time when I worked. But this is severe. But I'm almost like, maybe I'll just live with it. I don't know if I want those biopsies. I don't have allergies. Eyes are so much better. I had my appointment on Tuesday, and she said the dryness is way better than when I was in March. Since I'm using artificial tears now, they still burn my eyes when I use them, but it's getting there. But I can tell they're much better. I used to get my eyes would feel like there's grit in my eyes, and then they would go blurry, and then it would stay blurry for 15 minutes to a couple hours. And so there was severe dry eye that I got. Come on, get on there. Okay, so get down, line it down. But I always say there is, whoops, I missed I missed it. That's what happens. I can't see from that end. There's people that live with worse things in life. I am lucky that my RA, I've had it for 15 years now. That it is doing good right now. I'm just on Humira. They had to take me off my hydroxychloroquine, and but I am doing good right now compared to when I was working. Like I could hardly walk, and I got so many cortisone shots all the time that. So right now we're okay. I still my hands are really sore today from mowing the lawn the last couple days, but we'll take a break. Okay, next page. Make sure you get it on this time, Jean. But I am grateful that I'm doing okay, because I have a niece to take care of, and of course 2 puppies, and is that over the counter, Jen? Maybe I'll look into, and and then they tell you to drink. Well, you can't drink at night. I'm an old lady. I'm 62 years old. If I drink at night, I'm getting up and going to the bathroom all night long. So it's hard to drink. And it's like, yeah, you can suck on candy too, but then you fall asleep sucking on it, and then it's like, whatever. So you can't win. I mean, not that I sleep much anyways. At 62, I really don't. I go to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning and get up at 8:30. I got good dogs. They let me sleep till 8:30. I know I hear some people that have dogs that they get them up early, but my dogs are so good. Okay, so there we have our album with the pages now. So how easy was that? How long did that take us about? I would say you know, 40 minutes or so we were doing some talking and stuff. But that's just simple. What I do is 6 by 6. No rinse good. Okay. So that's your book. When you're cutting out when you are cutting out all this stuff for your album, and I'll show you in the full tutorial, you'll have a lot of scraps, but a lot of them are going to fit perfectly in your pocket. So do not get rid of your scraps. Hang on to them till the end. I do my inserts at the end, so when whatever I have left over for paper and stuff like that. So I always leave my inserts for last. I do my pages and everything first. So now we're going to do, not today, but I just want to show you. So this is our basic book that we're going to decorate. Let's see. There is a gel. She told me Tuesday there's a gel over-the-counter drop. So I picked that up. She said that works a little better. And there's also a gel for your nose too. That has made a big improvement. The gel over the liquid has made a big improvement. So what I'm going to do, I think, is for this one, I'm just going to put a pocket on each side. I'm going to keep this one not too fancy for you guys, just for everyone who's just learning. So I'm going to put a pocket on the back of the front cover and the back cover. And then I think I will show you guys how to do a gatefold. And probably a flip. No motion ones for this one. And this one that opens, I'm going to do it 4 ways because I want to put this page. I'm going to show you what I want to do with this page. I love this page. Let me tear one out. So this one's actually going to be split too. So it's going to have 4 little squares, and we're going to put this on that one. So it's going to have 4 squares. I think that'll be really cool. So we're going to do that. You do use a lot of magnets and Velcro. I will show you guys both with magnets, Velcro, however you want to close it. Yeah, I didn't know they made the gel, and I buy it through Amazon now. And because I can't find it in most of the stores, so I buy it right through Amazon. So I keep a good stock of that because I used quite a bit of that. But I love the nose gel. So I think we're going to do this page, but we're going to have a 4 cut. And then we might attempt the waterfall. They're really, really easy, but I won't do the motion waterfall. So I'm going to pick out 6 different pages that are going to be pretty easy. I think we'll do the ribbon one, ribbon gate fold, just so you guys know how to put the ribbon down. Oh, and definitely we'll have to do a lace pocket, right? We're going to have to do a lace pocket. So I will pick out 6 for this one. Like I said, we're not going to do any of the motion ones. I think there's another name for those, but for this first book, we will do some of these later on for the other, when we make another book. We'll get into some more hard stuff. We'll do some like this where we use the brads. So we will use a brad one. So I will pick out 6 easy ones for us to do, and that's what I'll do in the video. And then we will decorate. So like I said, that's going to probably at least be 3 parts because this took us, it's going to take me closer to 45 minutes. Jennifer can do her magic in the editing department and get some of it out. But I'm going to go a lot slower, and we're going to cut our pages out on camera so that you guys can see what I'm doing and how we cut everything. So we're going to do that on camera. But if you guys want to practice making this at home with just do cheap paper, guys. Just practice the first time people, and just get cheap cardboard, whatever. You don't have to use cardboard. Just put a couple pieces of paper, glue them together, and use that for now if you don't have cardboard. Just practice making your cover. And then if you want to attempt your binding and your pages, just use cheap paper. Don't use the good stuff that I use. Although this is not I think it came out to let me quick figure out, 3 cents a piece or something like that. It's on sale for around $13. It was buy one. So it was like 13 divided by, so that's like 0.13 cent. So it's a reasonable price for this stuff from Michael's. So it's on sale right now. In the store, it's really weird. It comes out to be the same price, but in the store, it's buy one get one half off. And on if it's 13 It's different on their website. They have a different sale. It's 13 something and whatever. They have a discount for it. So it's a little different the way they state it on the website compared to in the store. So, and it, like I said, the big packs of the 110 pound come in the white, the black, the craft, the cream, and then you can get a multi-pack that has the black, the gray, and the brown in it, and I think cream too. So, but if you want to buy more than one pack at a time, go on their website, because if you buy 6 packs or 9 packs, it was only 9 something for a pack of 100. So that was a good deal. So I may be doing that someday down the road. So did everybody understand this? And then watch the full tutorial we got coming out tomorrow is the bookmarkers. We're just, remember, we're going to do a bookmark series because I've had people asking to do craft show stuff. So I will have a playlist that will list the craft show stuff, like the pens, the beaded pens are good for a craft show. The pokey tools are good for a craft show. The bead dangles, you can, the purse ones, the bigger ones are good for that. I'm going to be making different bookmarks. We're going to make them out of acetate. We're going to make shaker bookmarks. We're going to make, I got like 5 or so different type bookmarks we're going to make. But tomorrow's is just a simple using cardstock bookmarks, and then you can laminate them. I laminate them if I'm selling them, but I don't laminate them if I'm just using them or adding them into, a little greeting card or something for somebody. I don't necessarily laminate them. So we're going to do that. And then next week is, I'll give you guys always get a sneak peek of everything. So next Thursday is my pokey tool holder. I made a new one for myself because my other one was pretty bad. So of course this is mine. But the one I made on video looks like this. It looks like a cake, doesn't it? You can use it for a pin cushion too if you don't have pokey tools. So this is a 6-inch one, but you can make smaller versions. I make the 6-inch for the pokey tools. And then I also, like when I'm making pokey tools, I'll put them in here. And I don't have all of them in right now because I'm working on putting them away for the craft shows. I got to make a box for them yet. But so this is the one I made on video, and it looks like a cake. So that comes out next week. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Jenna, I'm going to get a tracker on that, so I will email you the tracking number for your package tomorrow. I was trying to get it out sooner, but with the appointments I had this week, so I just got all wrapped and all ready to go for you. So I'll have a tracker for you. Watch your email for that. So I'll wait to see if there's any more questions before we go. I want you guys to give this a try, okay? And like I said, later on we'll make a bigger album too, a taller one, like an 8 by, I don't know what it is. So we'll make different sizes, but this is the basic size I make most of the time, is the 6 by 6. I mean, you can get a lot of pictures in there. Each page is 6, so there's a lot you can get in there. There's 6 pages, 12 sides, and then you got all your pockets. So you can get a lot in this album alone. And as you work the binding, it'll stay closed, but we'll be doing different closures. So I'll be showing you different closures too. All right, guys, I think that's good for tonight. Next Wednesday, we have our yearly dinner with our financial advisors and stuff. So if I can do Tuesday, I'm going to do Tuesday instead. But I have to see how my week goes. But I can't do next Wednesday. Got to go eat me some dinner. Okay, pokey tools are, and I did the video on this already. So pokey tools, what the main thing is, so they're made out of, there's a video out already for this, Jen, for the pokey tools. I lost my camera. And this one is the Hobby Lobby. Yep, this is a Hobby Lobby. It's called a Scribe. It's in the jewelry department. This one's made out of a turkey lacer. And this one is, the little one is made out of a cocktail screwer. You put olives and stuff on for your drinks. So if you're weeding vinyl, it works really good for weeding vinyl. We'll be using it in our albums to poke a little hole in to put our brads and stuff in. So it works good to poke holes. You can unclog some of your bottles. You can I have it on the video. I have a whole list of, you can take the backing off of your tape. It helps you get your stickers off your page. So there's a lot of different things you can use it for. So, and they're very like, they're beaded. So that video came out, I believe, last week, Jen. So watch that video and I explain more in there too. But um, I see them, people selling them for $5 and more. It costs nothing. The screwer and part costs 47 cents, sometimes a little less depending on which one you use. And I go over the prices in the video so that if you do want to make them for a craft fair, I tell you which is the cheapest to buy. Beads, you get those big packs from Hobby Lobby and stuff. You can get a lot of pokey skewers or pokey tools out of those. And then mine, I add a little charm on some of them. Some of them you can't. So then I put the big bead on top because there's no hole up here. So you put a big tool there. There's another way to do it. And if you have this big opening like this, if you use the turkey lacers, you can run lace through there, ribbons and stuff. I don't like the ribbons. They kind of get in my view, in my way. I like charms and stuff. So, and they're very comfortable when in this video, I tell you how to, before you glue everything down, you're going to put the beads on first and then make sure it feels comfortable for you. Some people like to leave a lot of the metal sticking out. I don't. This is fine for me. I like to hold on to the beads, but that's up to you. When I make them for the craft show, though, I will have all different kinds. Like this one has a little bit more, so I will have all different, kinds for people. And there's other things you can use them for. But don't stab anybody. It's a good weapon. So yeah, so watch that. I think that was last week. Yeah, I did say at the beginning of that video what the different things you can use it for. You know what else it works good for? Do you know those like ketchup bottles? And my niece likes her Freddy sauce from Freddy's restaurant. And they have that stupid like plastic that you got to try to peel off. I can't peel that off. So we just take and pop it in and put a hole in it and it works just fine that way. You don't have to pull that whole thing off. When you don't have strength, you can't get a lot of that off. Yeah, if there's anything else you guys want me to make for craft shows and stuff, if you have any suggestions, leave them in any video. It doesn't matter. Just say a craft fair ideal and leave them in the videos and we will work on them. I got quite a bit of people that were messaging me that want to do craft shows and need ideals and stuff. So I will gladly make them for you guys to help you out. So just gotta give me some ideals and stuff. I got a few ideals coming up yet for some. We got the bookmark series and we've got some other items that are fairly, cheaper too. These would, the holders, pokey tool holders would be nice, but I would make a smaller version for stick pins, for pin cushions. So make smaller versions too if you're doing that for a craft show. And all that is styrofoam on the back, styrofoam, and which I've got to put some fabric on the back end of this one. And so that's all that is, and it didn't cost hardly anything to make. So you can make pin cushions that'll be really cheap to make, and so there's lots of different things. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go now, and if I don't see you next week, have a good week. I still have videos out. I just have that dinner I have to go to on Wednesday night. So if I can do Tuesday, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Okay, guys, have a great week. Bye, everyone.